Hello everyone, this is Rachel from Sweet Bee Paper Co. I am here with another Tag Tuesday. Tag Tuesday is a collaboration hosted by Sheree over at Turquoise Dreaming. You can check out her channel below. So today, I have an idea. I saw these really gorgeous butterfly book page tags on Pinterest. And I will try to pop up a picture here, but I have like, I was just looking at my Pinterest and I have like over 17,000 things pinned, ranging from knitting and crochet, embroidery, buttons, tons of craft stuff. If you want to check out my Pinterest, I will link it below. But so today I want to try to make something like those little butterfly tags. I thought those were absolutely adorable. I loved the orange circles on those, the pop of color, even with the different color butterflies. They just really drew me in. And if I can get that picture on the screen, I hope you like them too. So if you want to make these along with me, let's get crafting. So what you will need are book pages. It doesn't matter if your book pages are, or what color your book pages are, if they're vintage or not. So what I've done with these is I've taken my book page, I've glued them to some cardstock, and I used most of them for other projects. But since I have some of these book pages left over, I want to try to make some of those little tags out of them. So you'll need your book pages. I would put them on some kind of cardstock. You can even use some pattern cardstock too, just something to give them a little bit more stability, because we are going to be gluing some stuff to them. And I know both of these dictionary pages were a little thinner. You'll need some kind of a paper accent to use. I have these embossed papers left over from some fall crafting I did that I'm not sure about orange. I'm just not sure. This is like a really bright orange. I have brown and I have this yellow. So we're going to kind of play around with these. If I don't like them, I will get out. I have tons of other scraps somewhere. I will get those out. You need some kind of main focus of your tag. So I am going to use some butterflies. I fussy cut terribly. I even cut off all their antenna just because what a pain. And every time I've like used these in projects, I've just redrawn their antenna. And I felt bad snipping them all off, but I mean, they're just so tiny. I got these from a digital on Etsy. I will link it below because I can't remember the shop name, but they came with tons of butterflies and different sizes too. And I think I bought the bird set from them too. But they're absolutely gorgeous. I printed them out on like some low resolution, so they're not super crisp. But oh, I love that green one. So you need some kind of main focus. I'm going to use butterflies and moths. You could use flowers. You could use kitty stickers, plants, whatever else you would like to use. Just pick something that will fit on these tags, or something you can cut down to fit. And the size of the tags that you make is entirely up to you. I'm going to see how many I can get out of these scraps. Of course, that picture I showed you, it doesn't really give us an idea of how large they are. This is about 2 1/4 inch. I think about 2 inches to 2 1/4 is probably the size I want to go. But depending on what I can get cut out of this, I may go larger on one or two. I may go smaller. All of mine are not going to be uniform. But what you could also do is take your paper and divide it out if you want, or just make one with a scrap you have. It depends on what size you want to make. If you have smaller pieces that you're wanting to use on it, I wouldn't do a larger tag. Okay, so like this butterfly or moth, I'm not sure what it is. It's 2 inches wide. So this 2¼ inch size tag would actually be good. Or honestly, when I go to pick my butterflies, I may actually go smaller. So here's actually the smaller one of that one. So I may actually go smaller because I like how that looks. There's more of the book page around it to kind of frame it. But you could also go bigger. So say I use this giant one, I could kind of reinforce the butterfly and maybe have the butterfly coming off of the tag too. So that's up to you. Okay, so something else you'll need for this project, if you are kind of following along the way I'm going to do these, is some cardboard. I know you probably got some cardboard laying around. We just had Christmas, so we've got some boxes. This was kind of ripped off of one, and we just haven't put it in the recycling yet. So I'm going to use this, and we'll talk about getting off like layer of like cardboard paper so we can get the corrugated part, because that's what we want. We want this amazing texture on our little tag. Okay, cardboard, embellishment, book page, cardstock, and a paper accent. Those are the basic things you need for this project. So you notice I have my crocodile out. I think I'm going to use the crocodile and put a eyelet on there. I'm not sure yet. I want to see how they look first. I may just poke a hole at the top. If you're wanting to do something for a tag where you have something at the top, I'm using this crochet cotton thread. I think this is a number 3, which is what I think they may have used on those other tags. I thought it would be good to use. You could use twine. You could use anything you like. I've also got some smaller size buttons picked out of my little button jar to maybe use as some accents on there too. I've got a dot stamp. You could also just use a pen to draw dots if you like. I have these Numo crystal drops. I've only used these a couple times and I would like to get more use out of them. I like how they have these bigger dots or whatever on those tags, so I want to use those. And I did some experimenting. So I wanted the cardboard. I wanted to try doing some gold on the cardboard. So I took a couple pieces and I tried to use some embossing powder on it. And it looks really cool. Looks awesome. I think it would look really neat. Except I'm going to be sewing over part of this. And the sewing is obviously optional. But I'm going to be sewing over a little bit of the cardboard. So this turns kind of crunchy and hard. I really didn't want to put that through my machine. So I used some of this metallic acrylic paint on it and just rubbed it on there, the higher parts with my finger. And that looks really pretty too. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. You don't have to do that step at all if you don't want to. That's up to you. I've got a couple punches out to punch out the paper. And I feel like I've done the longest intro of what you'll need. So let's get started. Oh, and lace. There's some lace on those too. So I've got my lace remnant bag kind of ready to go with some really pretty pieces in there I'm thinking about using that are kind of smaller. So let's get busy. So the first thing I want to do is trim down these to a more usable size. I'm just gonna trim these down and I will bring you back. Okay, so I've got them cut down into some rectangles. I think the tallest one I have is 4.5 inches. They're all around 2 inches. And then I have some that are just shy of 2 inches because I ended up having to split some. So we've got different sizes, which I kind of like. So the next thing I'm going to do, which is obviously optional, is I'm going to round all of the edges on these. Okay, so I have also inked the edges of these. And I found these butterfly die cuts that I had, so I think I might use these since the colors are really vibrant. We'll see when we start kind of piecing it together how it looks. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to start adding some dots to these with this dot stamp. I've never used it before. Like I said, I just got it or opened it today. And I'm not sure how much of this is going to be covered with everything we're adding on. So I'm just kind of doing some of the edges. So you can skip this step, or you could do splatters with distressed ink or watercolor. I like to do splatters with watercolor too, or a pen. The dots look really neat. This stamp is from Northwoods Rubber Stamp. I don't know if that company is still making stamps. So let's prep and look at our cardboard piece. So I have a pretty small piece. I'm just going to take my tweezers. You could also take a pen, and we're just going to start removing these layers. So what I kind of did over here too was I grabbed this top layer of cardboard and I just started to peel it off. If you're not getting it to come off, or it's just glued too hard down, I would try a different box. But if you take these tweezers and kind of run it down the lines, you can start pulling up some of this paper. Or you could use the pen to kind of push. Actually, the pen works even better. Yes. I'm sure there's an even easier way to do it, but I haven't really watched anybody else with cardboard. Super simple. Oops, I went a little too rough with that one. Okay, so now I've got all of that other layer of cardboard off. I've got my little tags sitting here. So we don't want giant pieces. So I'm just going to tear a chunk off. I'm experimenting at this point because I really don't know. Let's go ahead and cut a couple circles. So I've got my 1-inch punch out and my 1/2 inch. Let's grab a butterfly. Just so we can kind of see if we need to go smaller on the cardboard. You know, these die cuts are on some cardstock, so I might actually let them hang over the edge. I really like that. So this first piece I tore is about 2 3/4 and about 1 inch wide. And for the size I made, I think it's just a little too big. So I'm going to tear a piece off. So now it's about 2 inches. Oh yeah. Then I definitely have a little bit more room to work. That's really cute. And then I could do a matching, so I've got that too. We can add, and then we could do a button. So right now I'm just trying to look at, well, that one is just kind of boring. Can't really see it. Let me try this beige one. Ooh, that's neat. Okay. All right. And let's try a piece of lace. I know there's some thinner lace in here. Kind of like this brown. Kind of like this. I purchased a lace remnant bag off of a seller on Etsy. I have gotten 2 bags of lace from them. One was this, just a general, I think they've had 2 listings that I've saw, like a regular lace remnant bag, and I purchased a Christmas one, and I have been very pleased with both. I highly recommend them if you just want a grab bag of lace, different colors, textures. I did not want to purchase a bunch of lace, so it's honestly worked for me very well. I will link the listing down below. So let's just lay this on. That's really cute. So we could do something like this. Something like this. That's cute too. Okay, since we kind of know, I'm going to set all this together up here because I want to use all of that on this one. Since we kind of know what we're looking for each tag, I'm going to tear up some more cardboard. I mean, we could even do these pieces on one. Is that the smallest? I think this one is about the smallest. We could do the 2 pieces. This one, okay. I'm going to save these for another one. I'm going to get out my paint. And I'm just going to, I'll show you one. That's probably way too much. Let's try a brush with it. So I'm just going to take a little bit of paint, acrylic paint on a, this is just a kid's paintbrush, I think. And just go on these raised corrugated pieces. And then we may add some distress ink when we're done. It just kind of depends. So I'm going to put paint on the rest of these and I will be right back. Okay, so I added a little bit of distress ink to that one and I really like it. So I'm just using walnut stain on this one, or on all of them. I don't know why I said this one. And I kind of like that. I kind of feel like it gives a little bit of texture and shadow. So I'm just going to continue doing that. Okay, I've got all of my edges inked. So at this point now, we're looking at laying some things down, gluing down, sewing, kind of finishing off. So I'm going to get the rest of the paper kind of cut out, and then we'll pick ribbon and get everything glued and sewn down. I'm so excited. These are starting to look really neat. I love this gold on the cardboard. It looks so cool. You could also do different color paint too if you want. That would also be neat. Okay, so I have got all of the lace picked out, buttons. I inked the edges of my little circle punches. Yeah, so now comes arranging. So I will do one with you, and we'll do this one since it's a little shorter. And then I will have to charge my phone because it's about to die. I record with one of my phones. I'm just going to ink up a little bit of the white by the antenna. So I want to leave a little bit of room at the top for the eyelet. And So we'll want the lace kind of over the cardboard. Let's layer that there. I like that. When I started putting in that original picture I showed of those other tags, I had really liked the orange circles on them, but the more I was kind of laying them down on here, the more I kind of was like, I'm not so sure I like that. I kind of mixed them up a little bit. Some of them have different color ones, which I think looks kind of neat. So I'm just gluing everything down where I liked it, letting the butterflies kind of stick off of the edge a little bit. For the cardboard, I put maybe too much glue on it because I'm actually going to sew across that. So I really just kind of want enough on there to hold it down. Same thing with the lace, just kind of enough to keep it down while I sew. Okay, so my battery did die, so I will show you. I've got one done. It did go through my machine okay. I just did a line across the lace and the cardboard and added the eyelet, some thread, and a few Nouveau drops. These take 48 hours to cure. It says you have to let them lay flat, so I guess they're going to be sitting for a while. I may try to just do something else on another one. I'm not sure how I feel about the gold and the white. They're kind of weird to do. But I love how the tag looks. It's so cute. So I'm going to get the rest of these all done and sewn down, and I will bring you back when they're all dry. So here they are. It's the next day. The Nouveau drops feel pretty dry, and when I poke them with my nail, they look so pretty. I love how they turned out. I love the gold on the cardboard. It just kind of gives it a little bit more texture, dimension to it. Leave me a comment or tag me on Instagram if you try to make these. These kind of gave me an idea to do a few Pinterest inspired videos. So make sure you are subscribed and watch for that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.